Oh, yeah.
Okay. I see your double team.
No.
Leadership of the NAACP, we've been able to get a few things done.
That they're guilty in our
I
schools?
take issue with the fact that you're double teaming me,
I'm
telling
not.
me that
Not at all.
and reporting me to try to get me to say that our policies are anti-white, which they are not. But to tell you the truth, I'm just very annoyed.
Suzanne, my name's Jason. But I also really liked when you said that the Diversity Commission was raised and that you felt that this had gone a little too far.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not in favor, though, of policies that actively discriminate against some groups in the name of diversity and equity.
Ultimately, these things are anti-white, are they not? I mean, because they're seeking to hire people based on race and excluding one race to achieve that outcome.
I don't know if it's anti-white. I just, what my gut feeling is that no matter what race you are, if you're qualified for the job, you should take the job. You should get the job.
You should be in the running.
Yeah, everybody should be in the running, not just one particular race. I do agree, however, that, are you taking me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I see your double team.
No. I just heard this. I was talking to Colin right here. I heard the conversation.
Okay.
Really good, yeah.
It's not. That's not the way it is, though. I think the most qualified people should get the jobs.
I think so as well. Would you speak out? I asked Mayor Burke, and she seemed really reluctant. But would you speak out against openly anti-white policies and call them that if you were elected?
I am not sure that is the purview to speak out against anti-white policies. I won't speak out on anything that divides it. I will speak out, though. I would say, look, I don't want any sort of divisive policies coming into play, and I see that as a divisive policy.
Right. This anti-whiteism has become such a problem everywhere. And I know that, politics is supposed to, they say global and work local. Yeah. I mean, this is where the mayor, in my mind, is where, like, the buck stops. The sheriff is like, it says, we're not going to allow that here. People are going to be judged based on what they bring to the table, rather than we're going to exclude a group, in this case, the white race, and we're going to go look elsewhere for employees. And then to claim that that was some kind of a victory, that we've totally white erased the white working force here.
You're not going to get me to say this is an anti-white thing, because it's not an anti-white thing.
It's not an anti-white thing,
I don't believe that it's an anti-white at all.
When they're excluding white people on the basis of their race, that's not anti-white?
I don't think, tell me the evidence that they are excluding people on the basis of race. What about the other races that might be excluded?
The job offer for Leesburg goes out, and then everybody can apply, irrespective of their race, which shouldn't be considered as they apply. And then this commission is instantiated, and those people then go out to look for people of every race but the white race.
I don't know about that. So no, I don't agree with that at all.
You don't agree with it not being, or with it being anti-white. What if they were excluding some other race?
On the basis of what?
On the basis of their race. So if it were blacks, would it be anti-black? If they were saying we have all black employees now, and so we're going to go look for employees of other races.
You are not going to get me to say our policies are anti-anything. It's not.
What would it take? What would it take for you to say something's anti-white? How much do they have to discriminate against women? You guys have it easy. What about us men?
You want me to give you a threshold?
Yeah, but what would it take, because you're saying that you won't say it's anti-white, what would it take for you to say that it's anti-white? Putting our kids in the street and telling them that they're guilty in our schools?
I take issue with the fact that you're double teaming me,
I'm not.
telling me that
Not at all.
and recording me to try to get me to say that our policies are anti-white, which they are not.
Because we love our children. We love our children. I'm not doing this for me, and I can tell you he's not doing it for him. We do it because we love our children. It's nothing about money. We love our kids. We don't want them to be victimized. That's it. That's it. We love our kids more than anything. They're told that they're a villain. Imagine you're in a story and you can't escape you're a villain. You're born guilty. Imagine that. Imagine that.
Who's telling them that? I know I'm not telling them
Have you
that.
been to school? Have you been to schools yet? Have you seen what they're teaching kids in history class? That were slave owners? Have you seen that?
Absolutely, I know what's going on.
Imagine being a kid and you don't know what to say to that. Imagine you're a villain. You're born a villain. Imagine that.
Nobody's born a villain. Everybody's born equal. Everybody has equal opportunity.
I agree.
And that's the state of our...
I agree.
But to tell you the truth, I'm just very annoyed.
So
right
no
now.
one is going to call any policy that excludes white people, because I know Mayor Burke is not going to do it, that excludes white people anti-white. No one will call that.
What do you mean?
When you say that there are too many white people, when Burke was saying, I looked around and there were all these white people that were employees.
was the word she used.
So then horror, was the word she used.
I'm sorry, what?
She used the word horror. To our horror.
So to our horror, there were all these white people. And so we remedied that with this.
And to Mayor, I'm not going to defend Mayor Burke and what she just said, but that's not the only thing she says. She says things about too many men. She says a lot of different things. I'm not going to defend it, but I will not stand here and say that I am advocating for pro-white policies, which I feel like you're trying to get me to say.
No, I just said everybody should be judged on the basis of what they bring to the table.
I agree with that.
Not based on their race.
I agree with that.
And so this is what Mayor Burke is celebrating,
Right.
that they've instituted this commission,
Right.
and now our workforce is far less white. That's wonderful. Well, that's people that were discriminated against on the basis of being white. And so I'm just wondering,
I don't
will
I don't
somebody
see
say
the
this is
evidence.
anti-white?
I just don't see the evidence.
But you have to have the entirety of the job selection open to the totality of the population,
I agree.
including the white race. And if it ends up being there are 10 jobs available, 9 of them go to white people because in those instances, those are the best people for the job, then it should be those people,
I
right?
agree. I agree that if the person is best for the job, that's the person who should get it.
Well, see, this is what I think that I want to see out of Republicans, is that they are willing to say, hey, clearly what this Democrat is doing is anti-white. This policy is anti-white.
I think it's anti-human being. I don't think it's anti-white.
But it is. You know it is.
Well, that's the way I look at it.
Well, it could be the way you look at it, but your constituency are suffering as a consequence.
Suffering
White.
how?
White and non-white. Because you don't end up in an equitable conclusion when you've set up these policies that discriminate on the basis of one's immutable characteristic. And we can say that if a policy were in place to discriminate against Jewish people, you'd have no problem, Republicans have no problem saying, that's anti-Semitic. Well, this is anti-white. This is clearly anti-white.
It's just something to think about.
I understand what you're saying. I heard what she said. I know what I said, and I stand by it. But I do not purport that the town does anything that's anti-anybody. If it does, if it comes up, then I would not say it.
Okay, so let me get. You will, if they decide, like if Burke decides she wants to do something that's clearly says, like in her office, we're going to not be hiring these white people because we want to reach this goal that is far less horrific, where we're going to have non-white people. They may be wonderful folks.
I'd ask her to explain her logic to me, because that would be a very difficult. I don't even think that would be allowed, honestly.
Well, it seems like she did it. Like she made it happen.
I'm looking at our staff. I don't see it happening.
But if somebody does do something or propose something anti-white while you're mayor, and we hope you get it, since Mayor Burke is not the right person for the job anymore, If someone does propose something that's anti-white, will you be able to say, hey, that's anti-white?
I will be able to say that's incredibly divisive, and I will not support anything that is divisive. I am not going to try and divide people against one another. I just won't do it. I don't think it's right.
I'm not going to browbeat you. Just one more question. Will you tell me the reason why you won't say that something is anti-white when it is?
Tell me why you think it's anti-white. I don't understand. You're saying what she said is anti-white and what I said is...
What she said is anti-white. She's celebrating.
Well, okay, I get it, but I didn't say what she said.
Right.
That's Mayor Burke's issue.
It is her issue. I mean,
I'm sorry.
And her white voters should know.
She and I don't see eye to eye on this at all.
Her white voters should know that she thought it was horror for white people to be employed in the town.
And of course it's not horrible for white people to be employed.
Right.
It's not horrible for anybody else to be employed either.
Precisely.
I just
So
want
let's
it. Yeah.
So let's just say, if it's anti-Semitic, we'll say it's anti-Semitic. If it's anti-white, we say it's anti-white. If it's anti-black, we'll say it's anti-black.
Well,
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying.
I mean, that's fair across the board. That's fair for everybody. You're going to say, if it's anti any of these groups, you're going to say it's anti that group and it's ugly. I don't support that. Because I'm in favor of...
Well, I did say I don't support that. I said it right there in my comments. I will not support anything that discriminates against any group.
Right.
Any group.
That's wonderful.
And at all. And for me to say, to single out white people is a disservice to our community. That's not going to happen.
I hope you'll think about it at least. So that Republicans really need to learn that if they're able to say anti-Semitic or any of these others, that the time has come, the day has come. The discrimination and persecution of white people is omnipresent. We all know it. We just are afraid to say it because we live in this cult. So maybe you'll be the one that is brave enough in Leesburg, you'll win, and then you'll be the one who's brave enough to finally say, if something's anti-white, you'll say, hey, that's anti-white. I'm against anti-Semitism too. And therefore, we're not going to have that in this town.
I see what you're saying. Thank you.
That'd be great. I appreciate it.
Our police, I will reiterate, our police and our diversity commission are very, very good with community outreach. I really am proud of them. When we did form the diversity commission, it was a struggle.